Welcome to today's MJ News Digest, September 16, 2020. Hello, how you doing? Here's today's headlines. MJ Humanitarian Award, Paris loves classical, Jimmy Carter and MJ, Timberlake loves Eo, Kanye tells the truth, loving Neverland, and demo leaks. So, our first story is from The Express, and yes, it's another positive story from Callum Crumlish. Thank you, Callum. So this follows on from the story that I mentioned in the last MJ News Digest. Michael Jackson had an award named after him due to incredible humanitarian efforts. Michael Jackson was of course best known for his music and endless bouts of talent, thank you Callum, but he was also well known for his incredibly generous humanitarian work, and this month in 1990 saw the star receiving an award named after him. Oh, what's happening to my scrolling? Let's go back up. Excuse I. Where are we? Okay, so Michael Jackson fans were never truly shocked to hear the King of Pop had written and released a brand new hit overnight. The star was forever releasing unbelievable music, which has since gone down in history. Ain't that the truth? However, he also did a lot of humanitarian work over the years, especially working to improve the lives of impoverished or sick children. Throughout his long career, Jackson spent a lot of time working on making the lives of children better. This included welcoming them to his Neverland branch, donating money, and doing publicity visits to raise awareness of various causes. Eventually in 1980, Jackson was praised by the Boy Scouts of America for his work, and because of this he was awarded the first award with a brand new name in honour of the star himself. So there's no photos of the actual award ceremony here, but we are going to look at the award ceremony in more detail in a minute. September 14th, 1990 saw Jackson being given the first ever Michael Jackson Good Scout Humanitarian Award. The award given to him by the Boy Scouts was created, named and awarded for Jackson in recognition of his numerous humanitarian efforts over the years. At the ceremony, Jackson was given the award by Disney CEO Michael Eisner, an associate of Jackson at the time, and chairman of the board of the LA Area Council Boy Scouts of America, Ray Martin, also commented on the help that the star had provided. He announced, Michael Jackson is a good example to youth, helping us keep kids off the street by supporting scouting. Of course, this wasn't the first or last time that Jackson was involved in a number of humanitarian movements. Just a few years later, Jackson was hard at work touring the world with his brand new album, Dangerous. It then goes on to reference the article that I mentioned in the last MJ News Digest that was highlighted by the MJ estate on their Twitter accounts. But this article goes on to say that Jackson also had beds installed in his home at Neverland Ranch in front of cinema screens, in which he allowed sick children to come over and watch the latest films whilst they still received their treatment. He also regularly held days in which he invited inner city children to get on the various rides he had dotted around the premises. Included in his home was also a zoo in which kids could see exotic animals for the first time. Now obviously this is stuff that we all know as fans, but for the general public, just a casual Daily Express reader, they might not know this, so it's important for the public to know. So massive shout out to Callum Crumlish and the Daily Express for this. So let's have a closer look at this Boy Scouts award ceremony. Because as I said, this article doesn't show any photos from the ceremony. I'm not sure why, but you can see if you go on YouTube, there's plenty of video clips and photo montages of the ceremony. So this one will be from Nalanzo 68 Jackson, Michael Jackson Good Scout Humanitarian Award 1990. It's a good channel this. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe.
All sorts of variety.
So this is Michael Eisner,
including and particularly the Boy Scouts. So I would like to now make the following award to Michael Jackson for the Michael Jackson Good Scout Humanitarian Award. I take great pleasure in introducing Michael Jackson.
Thank you very much, Michael Eisner. Thank you, Boy Scouts. Thank you, Stephanie Mill and Jim Hill. Thank you very much.
And there's Stephanie Mills. Nice footage. Okay, so our next story is from Metalhead Zone, who are continually obsessed with Paris Jackson. Michael Jackson's daughter Paris reveals the cure of depression and hopelessness. Does she? Michael Jackson's musician daughter Paris Jackson shared the classical music she used to listen with fans on Twitter and suggested a fan listen to Radiohead stuff when feeling depressed or pointless. Okay, as you might know, the only daughter of Michael Jackson, Paris has been following her dad's path and working on her music career for a long time now. Paris and her boyfriend Gabriel Glenn, they're a bit behind the times, aren't they? So apparently on Twitter, Paris was asked the kind of musicians that she grew up listening to, and she suggested that her Twitter, is it Twitter or Instagram? I think it's Twitter. Twitter followers check out Debussy, Tchaikovsky, Samuel Barber, Beethoven, Mozart, Edvard Grieg, and Sebastian Bach. Paris says, "I grew up on them, so effing sick, dude." Interesting, because obviously Michael Jackson loved classical music. We know that he was working on his own classical music album while he was rehearsing This Is It, and also the Neverland had a lot of classical music being pumped through the ground, so it's good to see Paris still listening to her dad's music or favourite music. So this is from the Arts Views film review and interview, Bill Flanagan on Jimmy Carter, rock and roll president. So Jimmy Carter, ex-president of the US. So what has this got to do with Michael Jackson? Well, there's a new film called Jimmy Carter, Rock and Roll President, directed by Mary Walton. It's screening at the moment. I'm not sure if Michael's mentioned in the actual film. He might be, judging by this interview with Bill Flanagan. So Bill is the writer, and he collaborated with Mary Walton and producer Chris Farrell to make the documentary. And during this interview, he says this. Where is it? He says that his role was stepping back and letting Mary decide what kind of film to make. You could have made any number of movies out of the stuff we shot. There could have been a film about the things like Elvis Presley calling the White House at all hours, trying to get Carter to help his various friends who had been arrested for drink driving, or Carter doing things post-presidency with Michael Jackson, and how kooky Michael was. Well, we'll ignore that last bit. But what kind of things did Carter do post-presidency with Michael Jackson? Well, I know there was the Heal the Children initiative, but I wonder if there was anything else. So we're going to have a look at the Heal LA or Heal the Children initiative here on YouTube. So this is Michael Jackson, Jimmy Carter, Atlanta Project, Heal the World Foundation, 1993. So this is from Mike My Sweet Angel, 19,000 subscribers, pretty good. Brilliant, actually. Let's subscribe. Okay, so February 16th, 93, President Carter and Michael Jackson announced that they will co-chair the Heal Our Children initiative of Jackson's Heal the World Foundation. This collaborative effort, beginning with Heal LA, will provide immediate action to help solve the pressing needs of America's needy inner-city children and youth. The initial Los Angeles effort will include drug prevention, education, mentoring and immunization campaigns. Michael Jackson dropped in via satellite at Carver High School and talks live via closed circuit TV to President Carter and those attending. This video doesn't show that, it shows photos. There is a little bit of video footage which I'll play for you now, but I will link the full video in the description. But I think this kind of warrants some further research and just to see if there was anything else that President Carter did with MJ. So as I said, I will link this in the description. So from Showbiz Cheat Sheet, why Justin Timberlake refused to appear in Star Wars. So what has this got to do with Michael Jackson? Well, obviously it's George Lucas. Apparently NSYNC almost appeared in the Star Wars film Attack of the Clones. But Justin Timberlake liked George Lucas's work but declined to work with him. Timberlake was a big fan of another George Lucas science fiction movie, Captain EO. Yay! The effects-laden shot film starred Michael Jackson and used to be the centerpiece of a Disneyland attraction. Apparently Timberlake viewed Captain EO over 20 times when he was a kid, and later Timberlake had the opportunity to work with Lucas. So as I said, some of NSYNC were recorded shooting scenes for Attack of the Clones, but apparently their scenes were never used. But it's good to see Captain EO be being mentioned. And thank you to Timberlake for loving it like we do. So hip hop news: Kanye rants on Michael Jackson, Prince theories on masters ownership. So yeah, Kanye went on a bit of a Twitter rant about owning his masters and about streaming, etc. Interesting, because he is saying that he will no longer be releasing music until he's out of his lifelong deal with Sony, ATV and Universal. Obviously there's a big Michael Jackson connection there. So let's see what Kanye tweeted about Michael. Now I think some of this, obviously people are just going to be saying this is just Kanye's mental health, but Kanye has a point. And obviously this is something that Michael Jackson had beef with around about the Invincible era. Let's get to these tweets. So the first one was showing a picture of Prince. Kanye says, "Let's get it big, bro. You and Michael passed so we can live." So he's almost saying that nothing's been, they kind of paved the way, Michael and Prince. They had their own issues with Sony and Prince with his record label. But obviously these issues are still happening, but to a bigger degree now because of streaming. And there was another tweet about Michael, which is coming up. Here we go. "We used to diss Michael Jackson. The media made us call him crazy. Then they killed him." Ooh, Kanye speaking the truth. Okay, so of course Nick Story loving Neverland, the new documentary. Been waiting for this since it was announced a few weeks ago. There was some copyright issues, but they've obviously sorted that out now. It's a mammoth 5 hours, 15 minutes. I haven't watched all of it yet, I must admit. I've seen most of it, and I don't want to do a full review until I've seen the whole documentary. But from what I have seen, it's very clear that this is a massive labour of love. It's a massive defence of Michael Jackson, and paints, from what I've seen, it paints a really good overall picture of who Michael was, who he was at his soul. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. Check it out. Subscribe to Gothic Humour. Really good channel, and the amount of work that they've put into this is incredible. As I said, I won't review it just yet. Let me watch the whole thing and then I will give you my honest opinion. So our YouTube recommendation of the day is of course the Michael Jackson leaks. There's been a lot of them over the last 24 hours. Now they've all come from the In the Studio with MJ seminars by Brad Sundberg. We're going to be looking at the Give In To Me writing session. It's 15 minutes, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. But other leaks, let me see if I can remember what they were. There was a Smooth Criminal 1985 demo. There was the Earth Song 1988 demo. What else was there? Liberian Girl background vocals, although that has been leaked before in higher quality. And there was another one. Is it the Tim Price or Tim Pierce guitar track from Black or White, so the guitar sessions. Unfortunately that doesn't include the guitar solo that Tim recorded during the sessions that was never used, although if you do go onto his YouTube channel you can see him doing a rendition of the guitar solo. Really interesting. But what's interesting about the Give In To Me writing session is that I remember listening to or hearing an interview with Bill Bottrell, who kind of produced, I don't know if he was credited as producing Give In To Me, but he also helped with Black or White. And Black or White, it's got quite a unique feel out of all of Michael Jackson's songs. It's probably the least produced Michael Jackson song, and that's the kind of thing that Bill Bottrell was going for. He wanted to have like a southern feel to it, southern guitar feel to it. He wanted it to be quite organic. Of course, we all know that Michael Jackson kept the demo vocals on Black or White. So Bill Bottrell wanted the same thing for Give In To Me. And when they originally recorded it, it was just a drum track, guitar and Michael singing. And Bill Bottrell wanted to keep it as organic as that for the album Dangerous, but apparently Bill was quite insecure, he said at the time, and he just ended up layering on loads of different tracks and production value. So this writing session gives us quite an idea of the formation of the song and what the song originally sounded like and the original vision for the song.
Something like that? Did you make his dad or?
Once you get that out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pay to there's another. But see, that didn't have like a rip. It was all. That's a true collaboration too.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much for watching today's MJ News Digest. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment and subscribe because the best is yet to come.